My wife said, "He's changing his last name, a real man is adopting him," and I calmly co-signed. Until a week later her father stormed in, pale and shaking, holding a notice and choking out, "Tell me you didn't just let him void the family name." I need to tell you about the moment my life detonated, but first you need to understand what it looked like before the explosion. I'm Enzo, 34, and I restore antique manuscripts for museums and private collectors. Not the most exciting job at parties, but there's something peaceful about bringing 600-year-old texts back from the edge of decay. My specialty is medieval illuminated manuscripts, those gorgeous hand-painted books monks used to create before printing presses existed. I travel maybe twice a month to authenticate pieces or oversee particularly delicate restorations. Prague, Vienna, sometimes London. The money's good, the work is quiet, and I genuinely love what I do. My wife Eartha runs a vertical farming operation in the city, one of those trendy tower gardens that grows lettuce and herbs for high-end restaurants. She turned a dead warehouse into this gleaming agricultural showpiece that gets featured in magazines every other month. Urban farming pioneer they call her. She's got this natural charisma that makes investors write checks and reporters write fluff pieces. Where I prefer working alone in climate-controlled rooms with 1,000-year-old vellum, she thrives in the spotlight. We've been married 8 years. Our son Leo just turned 6. I thought we had it figured out. She handled the public life, the dinner parties, the school functions when I was traveling. I handled the quiet stability, good insurance, steady income, zero drama. We weren't the couple posting anniversary photos every month, but we worked. Or I thought we did. It was a Thursday evening in October. I was packing for Prague. The National Library had acquired a 15th century book of hours and needed authentication before their insurance would cover it. Eartha was scrolling through her iPad at the kitchen table while Leo played with his Legos in the living room. "Hey, need you to sign something," she said without looking up. "What's up?" "That botanical enrichment program at the Ecology Center. The one Leo's been doing on Saturdays? They need updated Guardian forms since you're traveling more this quarter." She slid a small stack of papers across the marble counter. I was mentally calculating how many lens cloths to pack. Prague humidity is hell on magnification equipment. Guardian forms? Standard stuff. Emergency contact updates, permission for field trips, medical authorization if something happens while you're gone. You know how these programs are. Liability paperwork for everything. I pulled the papers over, scanning while I mentally ran through my packing list. The text was dense, lots of legal language about temporary decision-making authority and educational welfare determinations. Typical bureaucratic word salad. They need both parents? Apparently. Something about both biological parents consenting to the extended program schedule. Donovan's been coordinating it through the farm's community outreach. He's actually been amazing at getting Leo interested in the science side. I signed where she'd marked with those little yellow tabs. 3 signatures, couple of initials. The kind of mindless paperwork you do 1,000 times as a parent. School permissions, medical forms, camp waivers. You trust your spouse to handle the details while you handle the mortgage. Donovan's the guy with the agricultural consulting firm, right? Yeah, he's been helping restructure our distribution network too. Really smart about vertical integration. The way she said it felt practiced. Like she'd rehearsed making him sound boring and professional. But I was already thinking about the Prague manuscript, about whether my new UV light would pick up the underdrawings better than the last one. I finished signing, grabbed a beer, kissed Leo goodnight. Told him I'd bring him back another Castle book for his collection. Kid's obsessed with medieval stuff just like his old man. That night, Eartha was unusually affectionate. Not suspicious level, but noticeable. Kept mentioning how much she appreciated me trusting her with Leo's activities. How hard it must be traveling so much. How Donovan had mentioned some father-son program he runs that might be good for when I'm in town. He's been incredible with Leo, she said, her hand on my chest in the dark. Really stepping up with the mentorship thing while you're handling the big acquisitions. The way she said his name in our bed, Donovan, like she was tasting something expensive. I should have known then. That practice casualness. That deliberate boringness of agricultural consulting and community outreach, but I had a flight in 6 hours, and a medieval manuscript worth $2 million waiting for me in Prague. I kissed my wife goodbye at 4 a.m. and headed to the airport, completely unaware I'd just signed away everything that mattered. Prague was perfect. The book of hours turned out to be even more valuable than the library suspected. The illuminations were by the master of the Dresden prayer book, not his workshop. 5 days of careful examination, UV photography, pigment analysis. The kind of focused work that makes everything else disappear. I landed back home Tuesday morning, expecting the usual, Leo at school, Eartha at the farm, house empty except for the pile of mail she never sorts. Instead, my father-in-law's Buick was parked crooked in my driveway at 7 a.m. Hector was sitting on my porch steps like a man waiting for bad news from a doctor. The guy designed destroyer-class naval vessels for 30 years, supervised shipyards from Norfolk to San Diego. I'd never seen him look small before. "We need to talk," he said, standing up. His hands were shaking. Not old man tremors. Fear. "What's wrong? Is Eartha okay? Leo?" "They're fine." He pulled out a manila envelope from his jacket. "Enzo, what did you sign before you left?" "What?" "Some forms for Leo's enrichment program." "Why?" He handed me the envelope. Inside were legal documents with the county seal. Official. The kind that change lives. "Read it." The header made no sense. Petition for adoption and name change. I scanned down. Petitioner, Donovan Reeves. Minor child, Leo Castellano, age 6. Requesting full legal adoption and name change to Leo Reeves. My signature at the bottom. 3 places. Notarized. Consent of biological father to relinquish parental rights due to extensive professional travel obligations preventing consistent parental presence. The words went blurry. I read them again. Then again. This is wrong. I signed enrichment program forms. Guardian permissions for when I travel. Hector's voice cracked. "They're erasing him from our family, Enzo. 3 generations of Castellano men in the maritime service. My father's destroyer commission. My designs. And they're just deleting it. Like it means nothing." I pulled out my phone, started to call Eartha. Hector grabbed my wrist. "Don't. Not yet. Think like your grandfather would. He didn't survive midway by reacting. He survived by planning." My grandfather. Another Enzo Castellano. Chief engineer on the USS Yorktown. The man who taught me that fury without purpose is just noise. "How did you find out?" Court sends courtesy notices to grandparents for name changes involving minors. Professional courtesy because of my naval service record. Arrived yesterday. I sat on the porch step, document in hand. Read every word now. The sick brilliance of it revealing itself. The signatures were real, I'd signed them. The notary seal was from Eartha's friend who works at the farm's main office. The language was specifically about me voluntarily surrendering rights due to my career priorities. "Go home," I told Hector. "Don't tell anyone. Not even Gloria." "What are you going to do?" "What Grandpa would do. Map the battlefield before the first shot." He nodded, understanding. Military family. We don't panic. We prepare. After he left, I made 3 calls. First, my lawyer. Not the family practice guy who did our house closing. The prosecutor turned defense attorney who handled that manuscript forgery case I testified in. Can adoption papers be disguised as something else? If they were deliberately misrepresented? That's fraud. Potentially criminal. Don't do anything until I review everything. Second, a private investigator. Booth. Former IRS Criminal Division. The kind of guy who can find money hidden in Swiss accounts. I need everything. Financial records, communications, timeline. Start 6 months ago. Rush job? Price doesn't matter. Third, my bank. Mr. Castellano, how can I help you today? I need a complete audit of all my accounts for the last 6 months. Every transaction. Of course. Let me pull that up. Typing. Silence. Then, Mr. Castellano, I'm showing several large transfers from your joint investment account. Were you aware of these? My throat went dry. How much? 4 transfers totaling $47,000. All to the same recipient, Reeves Agricultural Consulting. The most recent was last week. October 15th. The day I signed those papers. While I was in the air to Prague. Mr. Castellano? Should I flag these as fraudulent? Not yet. Send me everything. Every detail. I hung up. Sat in my kitchen. The Lego castle Leo and I built last month still on the coffee table. His drawings on the refrigerator, Knights and Dragons, all signed Leo C. in crayon. My phone buzzed. Text from Eartha, Donovan's taking Leo to the Science Museum after school. They're doing a special exhibit on vertical growing systems. Leo's so excited. Don't wait up for dinner. Donovan. Taking my son. To teach him about growing systems. I texted back, sounds fun. Tell him I said hi. Then I called Booth again. Change of plans. I need everything on Donovan Reeves too. Everything. For the next 3 days, I became a ghost in my own house. Smiled at breakfast. Asked about the farm's new harvest. Listened to Leo tell me about the cool stuff Mr. Donovan showed him. Every word perfectly normal while Booth excavated my life's wreckage. Wednesday night, Eartha was at another board meeting. Leo was asleep. I sat in my study with a glass of whiskey, waiting. At 11 p.m., my phone buzzed. Check your email. Encrypted file. Booth's voice was flat. Professional. The voice of a man who'd found exactly what we both knew he'd find. The file was organized like a medical examiner's report. Systematic. Thorough. Devastating. Timeline of affair. First hotel charge, May 14th, Marriott downtown, room service for 2. Text messages recovered from phone records starting May 20th. 37 hotel stays over 6 months. Always during my travel dates. Financial fraud. The $47,000 was just the start. Eartha had been moving money for months. Small amounts from our joint checking. Larger pulls from the investment account. All to Reeves Agricultural Consulting for Sustainable Development Advisory Services. Donovan's business was bleeding out. He owed $200,000 on equipment loans for a hydroponic startup that failed. Another $50,000 in credit card debt. The man was drowning, and Eartha was throwing him our life preservers. But then Booth found the real plan. Audio file, source, Eartha's vehicle dashcam. I put in earbuds. Eartha's voice filled my head. She was talking to someone on speakerphone while driving. The trust is worth $400,000. My grandmother set it up for Leo's education, but the legal guardian controls it until he's 18. Donovan's voice, you're sure Enzo won't contest the adoption? He already signed. He thinks it was for that botanical program. Besides, once it's done, he has no legal standing. The trust follows whoever has custody. And after? After we're married, we can leverage the trust as collateral for your new operation. The vertical farming expansion you pitched. We'd pay it back before Leo needs it for college. My hand tightened on the glass. Leo's education fund. Money from Eartha's grandmother who died 2 years ago. The woman who made Eartha promise at her deathbed to make sure Leo gets the education that opens every door. I kept listening. What about Enzo? Eartha laughed. He cares more about dead books than living relationships. I've been telling Leo for months that his dad chooses work over family. That Donovan's the one who shows up. Kids believe what they see. You're poisoning his own kid against him? I'm reframing reality. Enzo made his choice every time he got on a plane. I'm just making sure Leo has a father who stays. The audio ended. I opened the next file. Screenshots of text messages. Eartha to Donovan, September 3rd. Leo asked why daddy misses his soccer games. I told him some people love their jobs more than anything. September 18th. In Vienna next week. Leo's science fair. Tell him you'll help with his project. October 10th. Practice signing as Leo's dad at the Ecology Center. Get him used to it. October 14th. Tomorrow. Signs before his flight. Notary lined up. October 15th. 6 a.m. Done. He didn't even read it properly. The last file was labeled current status. Booth had been thorough. The adoption hearing was scheduled for November 3rd, 2 weeks away. Since I'd already consented, it would be a formality unless contested. Eartha had told everyone at Leo's school that I'd agreed to step back due to my travel schedule. She'd been introducing Donovan as Leo's bonus dad at school events I'd missed. The teachers thought it was beautiful. A modern family arrangement. At the bottom, Booth had added a note, there's more. Eartha's been researching something specific. Call me. I called. What kind of research? She's been looking up how to contest prenuptial agreements after a spouse voluntarily surrenders parental rights. Precedent cases where abandonment nullifies prenups. She's planning to take everything, the house, investments, probably alimony. When? Based on her search history, she'll file for divorce right after the adoption finalizes. You need to see her browser history. I'm sending it now. The email came through. Dozens of searches. Biological father rights after consensual adoption. Prenuptial agreement void abandonment of family. Custody evaluation traveling parent versus present step-parent. Timeline adoption to divorce strategy. The last search, from yesterday, can adopted father claim biological father's assets in divorce? She wasn't just taking my son. She was erasing me completely, then picking my corpse clean. My phone lit up. Text from Eartha, board meeting running late. Donovan dropped Leo home. He did homework with him. You were right, we're lucky to have such amazing support. Kiss Leo goodnight for me. I walked to Leo's room. He was asleep, clutching the stuffed dragon I'd brought him from Prague. On his nightstand was a drawing, 2 stick figures labeled me and Mr. D at the Science Museum. I sat on his bed, careful not to wake him. 6 years old. My name, my grandfather's name, about to be deleted like a typo. My phone buzzed. Another message from Booth. You need to see what I just found. Sending now. The new file from Booth changed everything. It was a recording from a security camera at a wine bar downtown, dated 3 days ago. Eartha and her assistant Miriam from the farm, drinking expensive Pinot. I need you to backdate some board meeting minutes, Eartha's voice, slightly drunk. For when? Every Thursday for the past 4 months. Make it look like I was running community outreach sessions. But those are the nights you've been. I know what I've been doing. Just create the documents. I need alibis for the divorce. Miriam hesitated. This is about Enzo? Enzo's about to become legally irrelevant. But I need those meetings on record to show I was working, not having an affair. Judges care about that stuff. This feels wrong. What's wrong is a man choosing dusty books over his family. I'm just ensuring Leo has a father who shows up. The video ended. Booth had included a note, Miriam quit yesterday. Might be willing to talk. I sat back in my study, staring at the 15th century manuscript I'd just authenticated. 600 years of survival, through wars, floods, fires. Because someone always thought it was worth preserving. Time to preserve what mattered. Thursday morning, I visited my grandmother's estate attorney. Not Eartha's family lawyer, my grandmother's. The one who structured the Castellano family trust in 1982. I need to execute Article 7, I told him. He raised an eyebrow. The bloodline protection clause? That hasn't been used since my great-uncle tried to sell family land to pay gambling debts. I know. Article 7 was my grandmother's paranoia made legal. If the eldest Castellano male could prove family betrayal or moral turpitude threatening the bloodline's assets, he could freeze and redirect any family trusts. You'll need documented proof of betrayal. I handed him Booth's file. He read for 20 minutes, his face hardening. This is enough. I'll file the emergency trust restructure today. Leo's education fund will be moved to an irrevocable trust with you as sole trustee. She can't touch it, even as legal guardian. Next stop, the bank. I liquidated our joint investment account, legally allowed since both names were on it. The $180,000 went into escrow pending fraud investigation. The bank manager, seeing the documentation of unauthorized transfers to Donovan, agreed to flag all accounts for suspicious activity. Then I got creative. I contacted 3 agricultural journals that had featured Eartha's vertical farm. Sent them financial records showing discrepancies between reported community investment and actual spending. Suggested they might want to verify where their featured urban agriculture pioneer was directing community funds. I reached out to Donovan's 3 biggest clients with a simple message: you should review Reeves Agricultural Consulting's financial stability before your next contract renewal. Public records show significant debt and potential fraud investigation pending. By Friday afternoon, I built a fortress of legal and financial barriers. But I needed one more piece. I met Miriam at a coffee shop in the suburbs. She looked exhausted. I already quit, she said immediately. I want nothing to do with whatever's happening. I just need the truth. On record. She stared at her latte. I have kids. I can't get dragged into. She's stealing from the community fund, isn't she? Miriam's silence was confirmation. How much? $73,000. Over 8 months. Hidden as development costs for the expansion that never happened. Will you sign an affidavit? I could lose my career. She's destroying my family. Using my son as a financial tool. You have kids, imagine someone doing this to them. She closed her eyes. I have receipts. Emails. She had me fake purchase orders to cover the missing money. I need them. If I do this, I want immunity from prosecution. My lawyer will arrange it. You're a whistleblower, not an accomplice. That night, Eartha was practically glowing at dinner. Leo's so excited about the botanical garden showcase next week. Donovan arranged for him to present his growing project. That's great, I said, cutting my steak. Maybe I can make it. Oh, you'll be in Boston for that manuscript evaluation. I hadn't told her about Boston. Which meant she'd been checking my calendar, planning around my absence. Right. Boston. Leo piped up, Mr. D says he'll video it for you. That's thoughtful of him. Eartha smiled. He really goes above and beyond. Saturday morning, while Eartha was at yoga, I called a family meeting for Sunday. Texted every blood relative, plus Hector's brothers. Mandatory. 1 p.m. Bring lawyers if you have them. Eartha saw the group text that night. What's this about? Family business. Some estate planning Dad wanted to discuss. She bought it. Even offered to make her famous lasagna for everyone. That's perfect, I said. Make extra. Donovan should probably be there too. Her eyes flickered. Why would Donovan? You've mentioned how close he and Leo are getting. Might as well include him in family planning. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. I'll ask him. Sunday arrived gray and cold. The kind of November day that makes you want to stay in bed. Instead, I was in my dining room at noon, setting up my laptop and connecting it to the 65-inch TV we barely used. Family started arriving at 12:45. My brother Paul, the bail bondsman, came first. Then Hector with his brothers, 2 more former Navy, 1 Marines. My cousins. Eartha's sister Diane, who always hated me. The room filled with confused energy. Eartha was in the kitchen, aggressively cheerful, pulling her lasagna from the oven. She'd worn her best dress. The one from her farm's magazine shoot. Playing the perfect wife and hostess. At 12:58, Donovan walked in wearing a suit that didn't fit right. Too tight in the shoulders, too long in the sleeves. He shook hands like a politician, all teeth and confidence. Thanks for including me, Enzo. Really appreciate being part of the family planning. Wouldn't have it any other way. Leo ran to him immediately. Mr. D. Want to see the castle Dad and I built? Later, buddy. The adults need to talk first. The adults need to talk. Already acting like the father. At exactly 1 p.m., I stood up. Everyone sit. This won't take long. Eartha emerged from the kitchen, wiping her hands on her apron. Still playing housewife. She sat next to Donovan. Their knees touched. Before we start, she said, I just want to say how grateful Donovan and I are for your support during this transition. What transition? Diane asked. I hit play on my laptop. Eartha's voice filled the room from the dashcam recording. The trust is worth $400,000. My grandmother set it up for Leo's education, but the legal guardian controls it. Eartha went white. Stood up. Turn that off. I didn't. Donovan's recorded voice, you're sure Enzo won't contest the adoption? Eartha, he already signed. He thinks it was for that botanical program. Gasps from around the table. Hector's face turned purple. Paul moved to block the door without being asked. The recording continued. Every damning word. The plan to use Leo's education fund. The months of poisoning my son against me. The calculated fraud. When it ended, silence. Then I pulled up the financial records. Every stolen dollar displayed on the screen. The transfers to Donovan. The dated hotel receipts. The timeline of their affair. You piece of S-word, Hector growled at Donovan. I raised a hand. Wait. There's more. The text messages next. Eartha bragging about how easily I'd signed. Calling me that antique fossil. Laughing about my trust while stealing my money. Diane started crying. Eartha, what did you do? It's not what it looks like. Really? I pulled out the adoption papers. Because it looks like you tricked me into signing away my son so you and your boyfriend could steal his education fund. Donovan tried to stand. I don't have to listen to this. Sit down. Paul's hand landed on Donovan's shoulder. Heavy. You're not going anywhere. I clicked to the next file. Miriam's affidavit. The proof of Eartha stealing $73,000 from the community farm fund. The fake purchase orders. The fraudulent board meeting minutes. The farm board received this documentation Friday, I said. Along with 3 agricultural journals who featured you. Eartha's phone buzzed. She looked at it, her face crumbling. The first domino falling. That's probably them now, I said. Then the finale. I placed a stack of papers on the table. Emergency custody petition. Filed Thursday. Granted Friday based on evidence of fraud and parental alienation. The adoption is void. The county prosecutor has your case for fraud charges. You can't do this, Eartha whispered. I also executed Article 7 of the Castellano Family Trust. Leo's education fund is now in an irrevocable trust I control. The house? Already transferred to a trust for Leo. You'll notice the locks were changed while you were at yoga yesterday. Donovan stood again. This is illegal. Harassment. I'll sue. His phone rang. He answered, listened, went pale. What do you mean the contract's cancelled? That's probably Greenberg Farms, I said. They got my email about your debts yesterday. Hanson Agriculture and Riverside Organics did too. More phones buzzing. Eartha's sister reading messages, eyes widening. The farm board. The journals. The prosecutor's office. Every carefully placed call returning home. Eartha started laughing. Actually laughing. Hysterical, unhinged. You think you won? She stood, mascara starting to run. You think this ends it? I'll destroy you in divorce court. I'll tell them about every trip, every missed birthday, every time you chose those rotting books over your family. I'll make sure Leo knows his father picked dead languages over a living son. I smiled. Calm. Peaceful. The same smile I use when I discover a manuscript's hidden text under ultraviolet light. Check your email. She pulled out her phone, still half laughing. Opened her email. The laughter died. The email contained 17 photos. High resolution. Time-stamped. Each one showing Eartha entering Donovan's apartment with Leo while I was traveling. The metadata intact, proving dates and locations. But the real damage was in the details Booth had captured. Leo crying in one photo, Eartha dragging him by the wrist. Another showing her on Donovan's balcony during a board meeting, wine glass in hand, while Leo sat alone inside watching TV. The worst, Leo asleep on Donovan's couch at 11 p.m. on a school night, still in his uniform, while Eartha and Donovan were clearly visible in the bedroom doorway. Every photo corresponds to a time you told me Leo was at enrichment programs or with your sister, I said. Your lawyer will love explaining these to a judge. But I wasn't done. The second attachment was Miriam's full statement, notarized, with receipts. Not just about the theft. About Eartha instructing her to create false alibis. About the times Eartha had her lie to me about weekend farm emergencies that never existed. The third, a statement from Leo's teacher expressing concern about his recent comments that Daddy doesn't love me anymore and Mr. D is my real dad now. She'd documented everything, thinking it was a normal transition. Instead, she'd recorded parental alienation in real time. Donovan's phone rang again. Then again. He walked to the corner, voice rising. What do you mean frozen? That's my business account. The fraud investigation, I said, not looking at him. Banks take that seriously. Especially when $47,000 in suspicious transfers are involved. Eartha sank into her chair. The room was silent except for Donovan's increasingly panicked phone calls. You destroyed me, she whispered. My career. Everything. No. You destroyed yourself the moment you decided my son's name was for sale. Hector stood up, his military bearing returning. Get out of my family's house. It's my house too. Not anymore, I said. Your belongings are in storage unit 41B on Riverside. The keys on the kitchen counter. You have until Tuesday to find somewhere else to live. You can't just throw me out. Emergency protective order. Granted Friday. Parental alienation is considered child abuse. You can't come within 500 feet of Leo until the court hearing. Diane grabbed her sister's arm. We're leaving. Now. As they gathered their things, Donovan broke. Really broke. This was all her idea. He pointed at Eartha, spit flying. She said the trust was rightfully hers. Said you abandoned them. I just wanted to help Leo have a father. You wanted $400,000 to save your failing business, I said. Leo has a father. All escorted them out. Donovan was still screaming about lawsuits, about rights, about unfairness. Eartha said nothing. Just stared at me with hollow eyes as Paul guided her through the door. The room emptied except for Hector and me. He poured 2 whiskeys from my cabinet. We sat in silence for a while. Your grandmother would be proud, he finally said. You fought like a Castellano. I fought like a father. That evening, I sat with Leo in his room. He was quiet, confused. He'd heard the yelling before we sent him to play upstairs. Is Mom coming home? Not for a while, buddy. Is it because of Mr. D? Kids know more than we think. It's complicated. Adult stuff. I don't really like Mr. D, he said quietly. He smells weird and he doesn't know anything about castles. 6 months later, the dust had settled. Eartha pled guilty to fraud, got probation and restitution. The farm banned her for life. She moved 2 states away, sends letters sometimes that Leo and I read together. He's old enough to understand people make mistakes. Young enough to forgive eventually. Donovan declared bankruptcy. Last I heard, he was working at a garden center in Ohio. Leo's trust fund is intact, actually growing. The family name preserved. Hector takes him to the Naval Museum every month, teaching him about the ships his great-great-grandfather helped build. I still restore manuscripts. Still travel. But I never sign anything without reading it. And Leo comes with me sometimes now, learning about preservation, about history, about things worth saving. Tonight, we're building another Lego castle. He's telling me about school, about his science project, about everything I almost lost. Dad? He says, fitting blocks together. Our name means something, right? Castellano? It means castle keeper in Italian. That's cool. We're the guys who protect things. Yeah, kid. We are. Some names are inherited. Some are earned. But the best ones? They're the ones you refuse to let anyone take. Even when they try to make you sign them away. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.